take another claim is that resolution of the exit exam does more harm, and it's not, in fact, necessary in this case, now that it has been put out of use in California already. Now, my opponent points out that students need to be held accountable for the education in high school, and the fact that graduation should not be just a meaning of seat time on campus, but we all know that you receive a grade for every class you take. Thus, the grade reflects the amount of effort put into it. And I would like to argue that to achieve a good grade, or if anything, at least passing 4 classes, would require more effort than compared to passing the KC exam. And the fact that the exit test is not the only thing that could hold students accountable. So my first point is that students do not need to be held accountable through the exit test. Here, I would like to follow some data from the Department of Education. About 95% of the students, or more than that, average to 95.5 in 2014. All students in California from 2012 to 2014, more than 95% of the students passed the exit exam. And of those who do not pass and have a pass rate of 50%, other students with special needs and disabilities, and students who are English learners have a pass rate of around 70%, while students who struggle in the low-income category has a pass rate of around 80%. So as we can see, the cost of the exit exam could be used to better educate and help those students who actually needs those tests. And for this, I would like to quote a lawyer from San Francisco who helped fought a case in an LA county where students who received good grades but did not pass the exit exam, who are in the category of low income, people of minority, as well as people with special needs. This is worth the exam, there's a listing. The only thing that it was denied deserving students diploma. In my view, it was a more political move by educators to show that they were doing something. And we can see that through the person who originally created a test in 2001, which was to show effort that our high school education, the K-12 program, actually does something to educate the population better. Also, I want to say that Chsee is not the only way to examine students for competency in completing the high school program. For example, the ACT and SAT assess students in categories such as math, science, and English. Now, it is for sure more difficult to take the ACT and SAT, but there's no passing grade on the ACT and SAT, and a simple guideline can simply be set for students in different categories such as low income, or with special needs, or people just normal students, certain pass signs so that they can be examined this way. On the other hand, it would save a significant amount of money through SAT and ACT. Through ACT and SAT's official website, ACT costs $62.5 to take, while the SAT costs $60 to take. On the other hand, the average installation of cost for the exit exam is about $117 in Indiana. You can imagine how much it would cost in California, if anything, by comparing the average spending in 2 states. So I would argue that by using those 2 tests, you could save money. And on the other hand, at this point in 2018, 95% of the colleges in the United States do US News still requires an SAT or ACT score for admission. So regardless, if you would like to push students towards higher education, which we need students to take the ACT and SAT exam. Why waste their time to study for a test while for multiple tests where they could just take one and does just as well? And as we can see, most high schools with good stats in our nation, especially in California, teach towards an exam. For example, an AP class, they would teach towards the AP curriculum so they can pass the exam through a 5. That's my personal experience through multiple AP classes where teachers would teach the class according to the AP curriculum so that the students can pass the exam in 5. And that is the case through the exit exam with the experience of a high school teacher's daughter. She actually discouraged the daughters to go to school because the daughter was receiving programs to pass the exit exam in the morning every day rather than having a regular curriculum being taught. And I would like to argue that instead of teaching towards the exit exam, if anything, at least teach towards SAT or ACT so that the students could have a higher likelihood to move towards higher education. And according to Bill Gates, we're in huge demand of students who have a college diploma. So that's my points, and thank you.